there folks, welcome back to my channel, and for this video I've actually put myself in for a visit to Stirling Castle, which is probably one of the most iconic castles in the whole of Scotland. I think after Edinburgh Castle, this is one of the most visited castles in the whole of the country. It's really historically significant, really got connections to the Royal Stuarts, like to Mary Queen of Scots, James VI, overlooks, I think it's 4 battlefields. I think it's the Bannockburn, Stirling Bridge, Sauchieburn and Falkirk. Well, technically it'd be 5 then, because it'd be Falkirk 1 and 2. So it is a really important place in Scotland historically, architecturally. So it's like a really important place to come and visit if you are coming to Scotland. And this is somewhere that I have a lot of childhood memories of visiting. Come here with mum and dad and being able to explore and see the castle. So I'll be heading on in a minute and heading up to the castle to get in. Before I do that, a wee bit of housekeeping. If you're enjoying my channel, if you're enjoying my videos, if you can click on the subscribe button, click on that notification bell, leave some likes, leave some comments, it's always really appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel further, I will post a link to the channel's coffee.com page and the channel's TikTok account in the description bar below and in a pinned comment in the comments section. So with that out of the road, I'm going to grab my things and head on in. Yeah, so if you've seen my previous video of me wandering around the old town of Stirling, you'll probably recognise that pyramid. And you'll probably recognise the graveyard and the Church of the Holyrood. And over that way is the Ochil Hills and the Wallace Monument. I'll show you, try and get a closer view in a second. Yeah, it's the National Wallace Memorial over there, on top of the Abbey Craig, with the Ochil Hills behind it. And this here is a statue of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. The castle itself. Just the entrance over there. So this will give you an idea of the layout of the castle itself. And there is a wee cafe in the castle, which you can treat yourself to some food, lunch and some cakes, that sort of thing. And there are some gardens within the castle itself, which are always worth a visit. And that's the Unicorn Cafe down there. So this is Queen Anne's garden. And that there is the outside of the palace. Which I will be going into at some point. And there is this exhibition about the history of the castle.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, she was, yeah.
So this is one of the many views that you can get from Stirling Castle. So down there you'll see that there is what would be the remains of some formal gardens. The one on the left is called the King's Knot, and the one on the right is called the Queen's Knot. And all the way over in that direction, you can probably just see it make it through the clouds. That's the Trussocks. So Loch Lomond's over in that direction. Yeah, so that is in relation to those features down there. So that there is an artistic representation of Stirling Castle. Yeah, one of the many gatehouses. And that building with the golden render, that's the Great Hall. That building over there is a palace. Yes, I've just come into the palace. And a lot of this has been restored to try and represent what it would have looked like back in the time of Mary Queen of Scots. So it will probably be very gaudy. So that'd be the Royal Coat of Arms. This is the bedroom. You can just see how vividly it's painted in purple and green. And they do say when you do come into the palace, look up, look at the ceiling. Four-poster bed there. What looks like a wee altar. And the MR would be for Maria Rex or Mary Queen of Scots. And these are the famous heads. Try and turn around a wee bit. So I actually found wood carvings, which should have originally been on the roof and the ceiling, and there's done replicas of them and put them back on the ceilings, and it covers the entirety of the ceiling in this room. And they actually do have a mirror here that you can use to actually look at the heads without straining your neck. And you've got this above the fireplace. So you've got St Andrew underneath the Royal Coat of Arms of Scotland with a crown. So I'm going to head back out into the square outside. And they've got a specific gallery dedicated to the Stirling heads. Love the ceiling in there. Yeah, Stirling Castle is a warren. I've come back out from the Stirling Heads exhibition, and I'm back out in the square where the Great Hall is when I first came in. So can head back up and show you the Great Hall and the Royal Chapel, or the Chapel Royal. There's the palace. That's the outside of the Great Hall, which I will be going to next. And what we've got here is the Chapel Royal. I'm going to turn off just now and maybe try and get back a bit further to get a better view of it. So that's the outside of the Chapel Royal. This is the Great Hall at Stirling Castle. That there is the minstrel gallery, which is where the minstrel would have sat and played music similar to what's playing just now. And this would have been where the King and the Queen sat. And this is the inside of the Chapel Royal. So this is the museum for the Argyll and Sutherland's Highlanders, who are actually, I think their regimental base is actually here in Stirling Castle. Example of some regimental sporrans. And some ski and do's. So just to the side of the Chapel Royal, there's a wee alleyway. It takes you right through into the Douglas Garden. And the Douglas Garden actually has connections to Game of Thrones or the Song of Ice and Fire. There's an incident that happened here that's related to the 8th Earl of Douglas. He was said to have been killed by James II and his body thrown out of a window, which is supposed to be one of the influences for the Red Wedding. And it's said to have been that window up there. Yeah, so seeing this peaceful garden now, you would not think this is said to be a site for murder. So his body would have been thrown from that window up there, according to legend, and would have landed down around about there. And there are these walkways that take you around the side of the castle, and they actually give you some really stunning views. Yeah, so if you are going to be walking along the walkway, just be careful of some of the steps. It can be steep in places, and there does tend to be a vertical drop on at least one side. So just be careful. I don't know if you can make it out in the video, but there's the meander and the river down there. Things where the rugby fields are, if you can make them out. So it's the wee bit of the river where the river bends between here and the Abbey Craig is where the Battle of Stirling Bridge is said to have been fought. Yeah, so I've decided to have a wee break. Just heading down to the Unicorn Cafe, which is just around the corner here. Go get myself some lunch, and then I'll continue with my little adventure and my little exploration of Stirling Castle, because there's still things to see. Yeah, the kitchens are down this way. Oh, yeah, the kitchens are there. There's a exhibition about them doing the tapestries down that way. Go to the kitchens first. Yeah, so the kitchens are down here. Yeah, they also bake their own bread within the castle. I always remember playing in the grass at this bit of the castle. Yeah, so all the tapestries that you see in the palace are made in here. So it's all based around the story of the hunt for the unicorn, which is Scotland's national animal. Well, that's me back for a visit to Stirling Castle, and it is one of those places that you could easily spend all the day in the castle itself. And so I would say that if you are visiting Stirling, if you are doing the Heart 200 road route, I would give Stirling at least 2 or 3 days so you can do it properly and be able to do the castle and the town and see the Wallace Monument, all that stuff, because the castle itself could easily take up one whole day. But it's one of those good places that I do have a lot of really happy memories of coming here and visiting and coming on family day trips. So it is somewhere that will always have a place in my heart. And yeah, that is something that I would always recommend, like coming to visit and coming to explore, especially if you are really interested in Scottish history and maybe learn more about the Royal Stuarts, and maybe kind of learn about people like Robert the Bruce and such like. And the architecture in Stirling Castle is amazing. It's very striking and very iconic. So it's definitely somewhere that I would recommend if you are coming to Scotland. Definitely come to Stirling Castle. And in all honesty, I do think I did time the finish my visit just right, because as I was finishing my visit, it was just starting to spit a wee bit with rain. And as I'm sitting in the car now, it's really starting to kind of come down quite a bit heavier now, so I think that's perfect timing on my part. But it's definitely been a good visit, a good wee trip out. Hopefully you will all have enjoyed this video. Hopefully you will all be intrigued and interested by Stirling Castle, and you'll all come and visit when you do come to Scotland. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.